Okay, so in honor of Black History Month, we're doing A Soldier Story, which is a movie that was suggested by our dad to watch and review.
They daddy, not my dad.
The Williams dad. But so I tried looking for a trailer for it and couldn't find anything. So basically the movie, it was came out in 1984, but it's based on the early 40s. And there's a captain who's coming to investigate a murder that happened on, what was it, like an army base or something like that? But it's all Black soldiers. And the captain who comes is a Black captain. So the whole story revolves around like the amazement that everybody has about this Black person in this, what do you call it, role, but also solving this murder. So had you guys seen this movie before, watching it for this?
I seen it once a long time ago.
Yeah, same here. Dad showed it to me like when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember parts of it, but I didn't remember the whole movie. So as I was rewatching it, I was like, oh, okay, I remember this part. And then other parts, I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my second time watching it.
Okay, yeah, I had never seen it. When I worked at Blockbuster, I always saw the cover, but I was never really I didn't care for war movies. And I was like, this is a war movie. I don't want to watch this. So I just never watched it. So I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know who was in it. I just saw Soldier Story.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, you probably never would have saw General's Daughter then, right?
but because it had solving a murder like mystery, I was intrigued because of that, because that's my jam. Like I like murder mysteries, so it had me with that. But it was funny too. Like it had some funny moments in it that surprised the hell out of me, and a lot of it was Robert Townsend.
Yeah, he directed it too. You know what's funny? I just listened to.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, he didn't.
He didn't direct this?
Mm-mm.
No,
this was his first movie role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. It was like his first something.
I don't know, because I know he did. I think his like first directed film was what's it called?
Five Heartbeats?
With Nick.
Oh.
I don't know if it was Five Heartbeats or this other movie with Keenan Ivory Wayans that Dad showed me. Damn it, I'm gonna be pissed off because I can't think of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? But I know that's Robert Townsend. One of his first, at least. I gotta look it up.
Was he in that movie that he was with? That he directed his first movie, or did he just direct it?
I think he was. Yeah, he was in it. I think him and Keenan Ivory Wayans like wrote it.
Is it Hollywood Shuffle?
Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah.
That was his first directorial movie. But I think because Soldier Story came out before, so that maybe Soldier Story was his first role. I'll double check it. I'll fact check it. But he was like my favorite character in the entire movie. And then it was weird seeing Denzel so young and like Denzeling again.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was good. Like, he plays an important role, but I thought he was gonna be like the main character, like the lawyer they sent, because he's on the front. Is that Denzel Washington on the front cover?
Oh, that's the lawyer.
That's the lawyer.
I always thought that was Denzel Washington. Like, I alwaed thought like they just.
You're like he's on the cover, but he's not.
Yeah, I'm like, but he's in it, but not much this lawyer.
I just finished listening to Samuel Jackson's book, and in the play he played Moesha's dad. That was
okay. Samuel Jackson did.
Yeah, so he thought he was going to be in the movie, but he wasn't.
So was it originally a play?
It was a play first.
Yeah,
it was a book that was a play and then a movie.
I don't know about the book part. I just know it was a play first.
Yeah. It was definitely like you could tell it was a play, like especially with all the dialogue, but just the way things were shot, like you could tell it was obviously a play first.
Especially the scene when he's at the bar. It's like when it all blacks out and he's telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the play part, right?
They had play vibes for sure.
Yeah.
But so what did you guys think when you see what was his ranking? I forgot what the ranking was, but the guy that gets killed. What did you guys think when he got killed? Like, did you think it was race related?
The sergeant?
Yeah, was it a sergeant? Was that his role?
Yeah.
I hope so. I think so.
Well, I'll check. I'll fact
I
check.
have to do that every time now, so you don't blast me. No, so I saw it. I saw it on Stars and Black. Stars and Black used to show all the like black movies that don't really get attention like that.
Mhm.
I saw it on there, and then it was like when I saw that, I was like, it's too obvious for him to be killed by white people. I was like, it's way too obvious.
Mhm.
So it was like I didn't. Nah, he did not. It was white
Yeah.
people.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just that like simple because especially because what he said, I was like, why would he say that to a white person? Like they still don't like
Yeah.
you or whatever it was he said, they still hate you or whatever. So I was like, he's talking to a peer or somebody in his, in his whatever. I don't know lingo for the military, so
I just say unit. Somebody is unit.
There you go, unit. That's
platoon, whatever.
So yeah, so a lot of the stuff that was funny was just the interaction that people had with the captain as they see him because they couldn't believe that, like I said, he was a black man in this rank. But there's like the different things, like when that white soldier was walking by and the captain like stopped and waited.
Yeah, like you better salute me, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was funny. And then when the soldier was staring and the white guy was like, have you never seen a black captain before? He was like, no, have you? Like just a lot of that interaction was just hella funny. But I mean, serious movie, but a lot of funny moments.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing
at all.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't laughing. Like I got it. It was like I don't know. It's irritating. It's like a harsh reminder. I'm sorry. That's just how I wasn't laughing at the. I don't know. I wasn't laughing. I was laughing at Robert Townsend. I was laughing at Robert Townsend, how goofy he is. Like he was just like they're singing in the choir, he's behind them singing all the way. And then he kept doing this cool ass walk. I was like, Robert Townsend.
Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dad was because he's the one that suggested this movie. We had asked that he kind of give like points of the movie that he wanted us to discuss, or like things that he thought was funny. One thing he did want to bring up is how they showed how Black culture is, and specifically the part where all the guys were in the place and they're like clowning each other. He was saying like, just, to this day, like that's what men, especially Black men in the culture, do. Like, they clown on each other, but it's all in good fun. Like it's never any like bad feelings. So he wanted to mention that.
Oh, is that a question?
I'm just waiting to see if you guys want to like.
I mean, yeah, that's
add to it.
No, that's like cool. You know what? The things that I kind of paid attention to watching it this time is like it's like the respect. Like they all knew his ranking, so there's a respect there, but they were more lax with it. It wasn't like a ultimate, like when the white sergeant walks in, they all like straighten up. But when it's him, they kind of straighten up, but then they kind of looking at him, kind of like you one of us. You know,
you talking about the one that was killed?
No, I'm talking about when this guy showed up. What the fuck what's his ranking? Josh, you know his ranking?
Talking about
Captain?
the white officer, the corporal, not corporal.
The lawyer. Dude.
I thought he was a captain. I kept referring to him
captain or corporal or something, or
yeah. I mean, whatever it is a high rank.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like because you know how he paused when the white officer walked by, I didn't salute him. But then even when the black ones were saluted, it's kind of like they still were like relaxed about it. They weren't like when the white so they're all celebrating that win from baseball, and the white sergeant walks in, they all like straighten up. But then when Robert Townsend brings him in, they're kind of like straightened, but they're kind of like relaxed at the same time. It's like it's not the same level of respect.
I thought it was just like shock.
Yeah, I mean, like
they were shocked, but still, he's still the ranking he is. It's like I don't know.
But you're almost like, what do I do? Like I've never seen this before, so I don't think it was a lack of respect. I think it was just like this is out of the ordinary. What's happening? Like
I didn't say lack of respect. I said they were more lax. They weren't like, I don't know, like the ranking is the ranking. So it's like you're supposed to respect that ranking in the same way for everybody who's at that ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't.
I was gonna ask, with the white officer, do you think like they felt like they had to respect him because he's the high officer, to where this guy, they respect him because of what he had to go through to get to his ranking.
Yeah, because he's like a high officer too, but it wasn't the same. I don't know. It's like it didn't give me the same a 10 hut. Like it didn't give me that same respect level. I guess they respected him, but it wasn't the same. It was like we respect you for being higher, but you're still one of us. One of us, like.
So if we are out of line, we ain't gonna like, do something fucked up to us. If that was your saying.
we ain't gonna cross the line, but it's I don't know. It's like they feel like there's consequences if we fuck up in front of the white officer.
Mm-hmm.
But in front of him, it's kind of like we straighten up, but at the same time, you cool.
Yeah, and that kind of, so like that one scene when he first gets there and he's gonna start interviewing everybody, and the first guy gets called to come back and he's like hella juiced. He's like, yeah, here I come to answer these questions. Like you said, like there's really no sense of like, this is a serious ranking, like be cool and straighten up. Like it's more like oh okay, yeah, I'm coming to talk to you because we're brothers.
Okay.
Like
because you notice, so the first one was Wilkie, the guy behind your head, Tasha. He went in there and then he sat down and he like relaxed and crossed his leg, and you seen the officer kind of look up at him like goddamn, you kind of relaxed.
Yeah, we ain't partners.
Yeah, but then you see when Denzel came in, he kept it like respectful. He like sat down, he sat up straight. It's like this. It's like they were comfortable, or a little too comfortable for his ranking. So it's kind of like, I don't know. The blackface thing is, I don't know. Can't explain it.
But I think that kind of goes with just anything when somebody's in that role, like fellow Black people kind of feel like, oh, we cool. Like I ain't really got to do anything because we're here.
Yeah,
so I think it's the same kind of thing. Like I'm in this role and I take it seriously and I will check you.
That kind of bothers me though.
Why?
Because respect him like you respect that white dude.
But it's reality. It's besides that. That's just it happens.
I know. Even in reality, it irritates me. Okay, so perfect example. Remember they boycotted the Oscars, and then they were like, "We're gonna do a Black Oscars," and then they did the Black Oscars, and it was all goofy. Everybody's up there cracking jokes. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have
remember that.
You don't even remember it, right? Because it was like shit. It was like all the Black people boycotted the Oscars, and they were like, "We're gonna do our own." It was the Oscars or the Grammys. I want to say it's the Oscars. I'm not sure, but it might have been the Grammys because Russell Simmons produced it. So it was supposed to be our Grammys, but they're up there cracking jokes and being goofy. Mm-hmm. But if you watch the other award show, it's like we got to be a certain way, like we got to be respectful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That kind of bothers me. It's like, dude, I get it. He's Black. You're happy about it, but give him that same respect that you give that white officer that came in there.
Are they like? Do you think it's like we respect you, but at the same time, no matter how high you're still on the same level as us, because that's how they view you as. You
like kind of like, because I mean that got to be kind of how he feels. Mm-hmm. Like he looked at the white dude like, damn, you gonna disrespect me, but then if my people don't hold me up to that level, I mean, who will? You know what I mean?
Did you ever hear that story about T.I. getting fired from some movie that he was supposed to be on with Morgan Freeman? And it was because when they were in like, the table read, T.I. was like falling asleep and just being like unprofessional. And Morgan Freeman like called him out in front of everybody. And T.I. felt like, we're brothers. Like, why would you do that? Why would you call me out in front of everybody? It's because you should still have a level of respect for your job and for yourself. Just because I'm Black, just like you, doesn't mean I'm gonna give you a pass. I'm gonna check you. So, it's all across the board. And
I mean,
it's not right.
I know what happens. I'm just saying it irritates me.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not right. It's not right. You shouldn't have more respect for others before you have respect for your own. So, no, I get it. It's
respect to get respect.
Reality, unfortunately. He also mentioned, he brought up how they used the different terms for Black folks throughout this movie. So they did like Negro, colored, the N-word that I don't use that word, but they used it all in referring to themselves. Like it wasn't like the white folks calling them that, they were calling themselves that or referring to each other as such.
Yeah, like we do today. That hasn't changed.
But Negro and colored, like nobody calls each other Negro and colored in conversation now. and black. He said, "I'm gonna beat your black ass." So it's like, they covered all of the different terms. But anything else you guys want to bring up while I'm figuring out what else he wanted to talk about?
I was gonna bring up what's called the Sarge that was like thought that he can like earn respect, was ranking the one that got killed. Talking about like when he was like ranting about like his dad telling him to act a certain way, speak a certain way, thinking that if he did that he would be accepted, yet he don't give a they don't give a shit about him. So I was wondering if he was taking it out on his the other soldiers because he had those issues, or he thought like he was doing them a favor.
Didn't he say something about like talking white or something like that?
Yeah, that's what Denzel said. Denzel went off when he was like, he thinks he can come in here and talk white and they're gonna give him respect. It was like it was showing the different angles of how he thought, but then he took it all out on the country dude. And it was like the country dude was innocent, but he was just so mad. Like he was mad at how he made black people look in his mind, like in general.
And didn't he belittle country blacks as like compared to like city?
Yeah. Like he didn't like the South, people from the South. Yeah. CJ, he was all cool with him at first because he was like a good singer, guitar player, baseball player, but still didn't like the way.
I think he was even lying in that. Like, okay, because remember he when he was first interviewing Wilkie, he was like, yeah, he really likes CJ. And then he goes back to that story and he's telling him what he was telling them at the bar before they walked up. So it was like he was playing like he liked them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some bullshit behind it.
Yeah. And that's what he's saying, they still hate you, when he was talking about like when he was he got beat up by the two white soldiers. One of them from Tales from the Hood, another racist role.
Yeah.
He was one of the cops.
He was the cop, right?
Yeah.
That's where I recognized him from.
Yeah, you look familiar, and it seems like you have the same dialogue.
Same dialogue, demeanor.
Yeah. So that's one thing kind of like stuck out to me, towards like at first I was like, man, you fucking piece of shit. And then like hearing him saying that, I'm like, all right, I guess I can understand what you think you had to do to get where you're at. But at the same time, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because he was like, he's mixed, right? The one who got shot.
Definitely. He looked like he looked like Cat Williams.
But could his character been like Creole or something like that? Not necessarily mixed, just light skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in real life he was biracial, but I mean, not all bright skinned Black people are mixed. Sometimes they're just fair skinned.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Okay, so Dad asked, compared to 1944 until now, which is like 80 years, is there a difference in the way that white folks see Black folks? And considering like ranking, like, the high, being in high roles in life.
Is that what you send us that the video with the coach not getting the
job?
So
he wanted me to reference a conversation that Shannon Sharp had regarding a offensive coordinator constantly interviewing to get a head coach position, and he's never gotten it. And recently a white offensive coordinator got the job over him. So like, just as far as like, this guy in A Soldier Story being in that ranking, and how like, crazy it was, and like just not really like common, that even today, like you don't get a lot of people in those high roles. And in regards to the football thing, like all the owners are white, so they hire fellow white people, which is why you don't have Black owners, and that's why you don't have Black coaches. So he wanted to see like your guys's, thoughts on like then versus now, or till now. Like, is there really any difference?
Yeah, well, same with like the Golden Globes, how they said they canceled it because there was no straight up white people. Yeah, sure, white people running the thing. Same with like Disney executives, like all these people hire people like help make Black Panther. Like I remember one of my teachers was saying like, you have the Black director, writer, costume designer, but like the executives or like producers or people are paying for it, we're all white. We're very much white. Yeah. So I don't know if that is that much a difference back in the day. I mean,
Yeah.
Still relevant today. That's like this movie could be.
The owners aren't old enough to be from that time.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are old. But I mean, if they own the team, they do what they want, pretty much.
Yep. And they're going to give it to their descendants. So therefore, it's going to stay unless the descendants start like mixing races with, you know, their kids and stuff. That's the only way that
I just wish rich Black people would come together and create their own, so we wouldn't have to ask for shit like that. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to Malcolm X's book right now, so my mind is like, but I'm thinking like, so it's like if you got enough of because NFL is predominantly Black, if you got enough of them, it's a big ask.
Like the players,
enough of them to start their own league and build that league up, and then we have our own. It's not necessarily like no white people allowed, not like that, but if you own that league and you start it up, then the right person gets the right job. Then your skin has nothing to do with it. Yeah. But it has to start somewhere else. It's like they can get it to where it's at a level to where it can damn near compete with the NFL. If all of the Black players were to leave the NFL, who the fuck is going to watch that? You know what I mean?
It's like
that. Start your own.
You start your own. But it's like the TikTok. How all the Black TikTokers like went on strike, and then the white TikTokers didn't know what to do.
Right. It's all about who's watching. It's kind of like if you see how Ice Cube did the Big Three, how it's getting bigger and bigger, and he did that shit by himself, and that's growing bigger and bigger. So if you can do that with the NFL and take the eyes and put it on that, and that grows bigger, then they have no choice but to adapt. But to keep, I don't know. It's like, so what do you do? So you complain, and then they give you a job, and then it becomes you only gave them that job because everybody was talking about it. They
want to shut you up.
Right, right. And then the magnifying glass is on you if you get that job, because it's like if you fuck up, like, see, y'all wanted them in there. You know what I mean? Like,
see what happens when we give it to them.
Yeah, it's like a catch-22. So it's like I just wish, like, even bringing up that thing with the Grammys or the Oscars or whatever it was, the Black version. I was so irritated I stopped watching it, because it's like, damn, it's supposed to be ours. Treat it respectfully like you would treat that one. When you go to that one, you ain't up there goofing around and talking shit on the mic and cussing and the audience laughing like it's Def Jam. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? No, you can't complain about one thing, and then when you get your own, disrespect it. It's like we gotta stop begging for attention.
It's like the I think it's the NAACP Image Awards. That's like classy. Yeah. So it just needs to have a level of class to it and not ratchetness to it. Like the ratchetness can be at BET, like the hip hop awards and stuff like that. But when it comes to like, you know, high end music or movies or stuff like that, like make it classy. Like you don't have to
make your version of the Oscars. Make your version of the Oscars. Don't even. But it's like, don't make it and don't be a buffoon about it. You know what I mean? Don't tap dancing with. Yeah.
When I say like have a stick up your ass when you like do it, have some fun, but have some respect. You know, have the balance between that. Yeah.
But it's like treat it how you would treat that. You don't, if you get fucking nominated for something over there, you go all dolled up and classy and respectful with a suit on. But now you over here fucking ripped up jeans and shit,
doing a nay-nay.
Like, come on, man. Like, respect your own first. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's almost along the lines of like when you have your like work persona versus when you have your home persona. Like when you're at work, you're like, you know, proper. When you get home, you just like let loose and wild out. So it's kind of the same thing. When you're around other people, other group of people, you act a certain way. And then when you're around your own people, you kind of loosen up and just be more yourself.
But no, I'm the same everywhere. Even at work, I'm the same. I'm the same me, regardless. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. There are people that do that switch. They do the now you're speaking up and talking upright. It's like you don't have to do that, but you feel like you have to do that.
I do that. Weird. Especially when I'm talking to people like lawyers that I work for. I don't be like, yeah, so, you know, I was just thinking like maybe we can just like, no, I'm like this and talking like making like in my head, like, okay, I gotta say proper words. I can't just be like, and then some, like I gotta say things right. So I think it depends on your work also.
Yeah. professional jobs, like, yeah, I get you have to like sound professional or whatever, talk a certain way.
Yeah.
But even at my job, a movie theater, I probably just act the same and I try to like say any fancy stuff. Yeah.
So
I
I mean,
don't know.
in some
It's
cases,
like
it does call for it.
it's like you can adapt to a conversation, but it's like you don't want to. I feel like I'm putting on a performance if I'm starting to straighten up and talk a different way.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm not saying I'm in there like, "What's up, bitch? What's up?" Because I don't just talk like that regularly. I'm joking around, but I'm gonna be myself regardless.
Yeah. Now there's certain things like I talking about with my friends that I don't talk about with my family, but I still talk the same way. It's just what we're talking about, something different.
It's just subject matter.
Yeah. But even some people have like, you know, group of friends, like they talk to their friends this way, and then they have other group of friends and they talk to them a certain way, like slang or whatever. Like I've seen people that do that, and I don't, you know, I'm like, oh, whatever. They probably feel like they had to. But yeah, I'm with you, Lamar. I just
feel like they had to.
What's that?
It's like the people that don't come from that world and try to talk like they're from that world is irritating to the people that are from that world.
You can tell
like,
too. It's so not genuine.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you don't gotta talk to me like that. I don't need
That's
to
when people talk
shit.
to me trying to be all like hip and cool. I'm like, you ain't got to talk to me like that. Like,
yeah,
just be yourself. Just be yourself. I understand. Like some
Oh.
other people, yeah, maybe they think you have to talk like that, but like with me, you don't really have to talk like that. So, plus, you're right, Lamar, when it doesn't come out like natural.
Yeah, you can hear it. You can tell. Like, that's not how you talk. Cut that out.
Yeah.
So for fun at work, they my boss had everybody do like their top 10 favorite songs. I had to like what I wanted to put on there because she created a playlist. So she took our top 10s and created a playlist. So I was like, okay, so I can't say like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and City Girls because that's like, you know,
that could offend somebody. That could offend somebody. I mean, because that goes all the way around. If Nana was to make a playlist, would you put Megan Thee Stallion in there on there?
If she like a playlist for her to listen to?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, because you're an asshole. But I'm saying
that's my nana. She knows. Like if I put it on,
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but I'm saying that's just situational. Like it's you know, it's like me if I'm listening to something with curse words and I pull up at a red light and there's old people there, I'm either gonna turn it down or roll up the window. It's just out of respect.
Yeah, no. If we were like hanging out and Nana was here and I was playing music, I wouldn't, you know, make it clean. I would play what I want to hear, and she ain't gonna think nothing about it. She'd be like, "Oh, Tasha, what you listening to?"
But that's I don't know. It's situational.
Yeah. So, so anything else on Soldier Story that you guys want to touch on before we end this discussion?
Wait, so who's Moise's dad? Shit, I don't remember him in that. It's been a while since I watched Moesha.
You don't remember him and Moesha? He was like every episode.
I barely remember the show. I know he was in it, but I barely remember the show.
Yeah.
But I remember the actors that were in it. And fuck, the other dude that was with Denzel Washington when he killed Homeboy. I was like, where the fuck's he at? And then he was on Warriors. I didn't know that was
I was wondering where Warriors from too. It is Warriors. Because I was like, I know this dude, but I don't know where I know him from.
Yeah.
It was bugging me who this guy was. I was like, I know his face. And then when I looked up his filmography, I was like, none of these are registering as to where I know him from. Like, who was he in CB4? Maybe that's what it was.
He was Chris Rock's dad.
Maybe that's.
Oh, you talking about what's his name, Wilkie? In this movie in Soldier Story? Oh yeah, he's that dude. Okay, yeah, CB4, Tales from the Hood.
Who's he in Tales from the Hood?
You remember that guy that was like, who knew about the dollhouse, was like warning people about the dollhouse, saying they want reparation.
So oh, maybe that's what I know him from. Maybe that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get them big roles, but he's always there. He's one of those black actors who's always there.
I just thought maybe once I saw the movie that he was in, I'd be like, that's where I know his face from. But even those, when I saw those films, I was like, it's not coming to me. So that helps. Yeah. Okay. So now I know who he was. But then David Alan Grier, he was barely in it, but he was in a good amount. And then the singer, what was his name? CJ? Was he in anything else?
I don't know where I know him.
I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. Yeah.
He killed himself because he was falsely accused of killing the sergeant. No, What was he accused
No,
of?
he got
Shooting, just
accused of
shooting.
shooting a white boy. Remember the
Yeah.
sergeant was like, "You shot those white boys," and then he came in later while he was in jail. He was like, "Yeah, I know you didn't shoot him. We changed your charges to attacking a senior, whatever the fuck he is."
Because it happened after he was.
Yeah.
That's fucked
He was
up.
like, "You hit me, and everybody saw it." I was like, "This guy's an asshole." And then he told him like, "This is what he always does. Whenever he gets a country guy, he gets him falsely arrested."
Mhm.
He's like, "This is what I do."
I was actually kind of surprised that the whole murder was kind of solved as quick as it was. I was almost thinking that it was going to be like false, like the guy was like, yeah, he did it, and then told the story and it wasn't true, but it was just like, yep, he killed him. So it was kind of instant, I felt.
It happened hella fast. Like the investigation didn't last long at all.
Mm-mm.
But so it makes me wonder how long the play was.
The plays are usually what, like a few hours?
Right.
Hours long?
Yeah.
It was only like an hour and a half, so they must have covered a lot. I mean, it was probably a lot more dialogue in the play.
They must have chopped this shit all the way down because that shit was fast.
Mhm.
Terrible voiceover scene with Patti LaBelle singing with CJ.
You talking about the singing voiceover, or
it was terrible lip syncing. I was like, they didn't practice this at all.
I wasn't even tripping. I was just listening to the music, and I was like, I wasn't even looking at the lips. Okay, so what would you rate this movie at 5 stars?
Solid 4.
I'll give it like 3.5.
All right,
Yeah.
same, 3.5.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so that was Soldier Story. Next, we're gonna do Let's Do It Again.